They came to a place named Gethsemane, and he said to his disciples, "Sit here until I have prayed." And he took with him Peter, James, and John, and began to be very distressed and troubled. And he said to them, "My soul is deeply grieved, to the point of death. Remain here and keep watch." And he went a little beyond them and fell to the ground and began praying that, if it were possible, the hour might pass him by. And he was saying, "Abba, Father, all things are possible for you. Remove this cup from me, yet not what I will, what you will." Mark 13, verses 32 through 36. I had read this chapter a few nights ago, and with Passover coming up next week, it just left me in a place of reflecting on what it was that Yeshua went through. What especially came to mind was the description of the suffering servant found in Isaiah 53. He was despised and abandoned by men, a man of great pain and familiar with sickness, and like one from whom people hide their faces. He was despised, and we had no regard for him. However, it was our sickness that he himself bore, and our pains that he carried. Yet we ourselves assumed that he had been afflicted, struck down by Yahweh, and humiliated. But he was pierced for our offenses, he was crushed for our wrongdoings. The punishment for our well-being was laid upon him, and by his wounds we are healed. All of us, like sheep, have gone astray. Each of us has turned to his own way. But Yahweh has caused the wrongdoing of all of us to fall on him. He was oppressed and afflicted, yet he did not open his mouth. Like a lamb that is led to the slaughter, and like a sheep that is silent before its shearers, so he did not open his mouth. By oppression and judgment he was taken away. And as for his generation, who considered that he was cut off from the land of the living, for the wrongdoing of my people, to whom the blow was due. And his grave was assigned with wicked men, yet he was with a rich man in his death, because he had done no violence, nor was there any deceit in his mouth. But Yahweh desired to crush him, causing him grief. If he renders himself as a guilty offering, he will see his offspring, he will prolong his days, and the good pleasure of Yahweh will prosper in his hand. As a result of the anguish of his soul, he will see it and be satisfied. By his knowledge, the righteous one, my servant, will justify the many, for he will bear their wrongdoings. Therefore, I will allot him a portion with the great, and he will divide the plunder with the strong, because he poured out his life unto death, and was counted with wrongdoers. Yet he himself bore the sins of many, and interceded for the wrongdoers. Yeshua is the only truly righteous, pure, blameless human to have ever walked the earth. He is Elohim. He is God in human flesh. He came into the world to suffer the punishment that we all rightfully deserve for our sins. He was abandoned, despised, rejected, tortured, and killed. He knew what had to be done so that we could all have the opportunity to be forgiven, so that we could all have access to the way of salvation. But that doesn't mean that it was easy. Yeshua was in absolute agony in the Garden of Gethsemane as he was praying before his arrest. His humanity was struggling against what he knew had to be done. Yeshua was fully human. He experienced the things that we all go through, just without sin. And going through what he was going through, knowing what had to be done, he was terrified. He was under so much stress that he ended up sweating drops of blood. He prayed that if it were possible, the cup of suffering would pass from him. But in the end, he was ready and willing to do whatever had to be done to fulfill Yahweh's will. That is the attitude we all have to take. No matter what it is that we're going through, no matter how difficult it may be, no matter what we have to give up, no matter how scared we are, how we long to take the easy way out, We have to seek Yahweh's will above all else. We have to trust that He will set things right, and we have to live according to His commandments and follow His ways so that His will can be fulfilled.